Hey everybody, welcome back again, and for the next installment of what's going on in the shop here as I get everything situated is my new dust collector finally arrived this last week and got everything set up with this right here. However, you'll notice there's no ducting yet. All the ducting's on order right now, and there's a whole bunch of ducting and fittings and various different, you name it, coming in to get this set up. It's unfortunate I gotta wait for that, and I'm actually half tempted to go buy a couple of reducers at the hardware store just so I can use the 4-inch flex ducting that I have that my old dust collector was running off of. So anybody who's wondering, this is a Oneida Air Systems V-3000 system. It's a 3 horsepower motor, runs off 220. I think it requires a 20 amp breaker. But so far, just having it set up, there's a whole bunch of things that I like about this system, and I'm super excited to get it hooked up and plumbed up to all the equipment and start using that, because my old dust collector has been kind of killing me a little bit. It puts so much fine particulate into the air, and I live in Georgia, so everybody who watches this that lives here, some of my friends know that the pollen down here is ridiculous. And of course, right now, everybody is well aware of the coronavirus outbreak that's going on right now. So respiratory issues, I'm trying to take it easy on different stuff and, you know, kind of improve the air quality around here a little bit. But this system actually a day ago, initially a few days ago, when I had a buddy come over and set it up, because that motor assembly is really heavy to get it up there. But I have the wall bracket, so it's mounted to the wall. It comes with stand variants, whatnot, and this is a 55-gallon drum. I did have this previously mounted to the wall a little bit over here to the right, and it was going directly to 2 studs, but I had a little bit of extra room on the left side over there, and I wanted to change it because the actual shroud up there, the actual impeller assembly, can be rotated to different points on there depending on the bolt locations. And I wanted to turn the filter outlet right here a little bit so I could push it further into that corner, save a little space. That, and doing so, this bracket had an option to shift it closer back to the wall with that actual outlet with the filter drop right there hanging out forward a little bit. So it saved me a little bit of space, almost a full foot on this side. I had actually just fashioned up a few sheets of laminated 1/2-inch plywood here that I had laying around from a construction project. Had it straddle 3 studs and then mounted everything else up here. To walk through, I'll do some close-ups as I'm talking about it, just a quick walkthrough. The filter is the biggest thing for me, having a separator going into this drum right here with the actual very high efficiently filter is gonna, I can't even wait really. I'm at a loss for words for what that's gonna do for me. And I know it's all gonna determine once I get everything plumbed up how good it is, but I know just that 7-inch inlet, without anything on there, when I fire it up, it's insane the amount of, I don't have the figures right off the top of my head as far as the actual CFM and the static pressure, but it feels pretty strong, and we're gonna find out here hopefully soon. Some of the features that I do like about this system is, I'm not even sure where to begin, is number one, the filter system and the separator. I've seen these things in videos and operations before, to where how much of it actually gets separated with very, very, very little of it actually going through the filter assembly. And there is a pan on the bottom of that filter assembly that unscrews with hand wheels to empty out anything that might get trapped in there. As far as sound levels go, this system does have, this section right here is an actual part of the silencer system for the filter, along with there's a sleeve that goes down in part of the filter right here to help deaden some of the sound. I'm gonna fire it up here in a few so you can hear it, but of course that sound's gonna change quite a bit when the duct's installed, so right now there's no restrictions or anything like that. But like I said before, it's a 3 horsepower Leeson motor. Seems pretty beefy. It's definitely a 2-person job getting this thing up there. You're probably gonna throw something out if you get up on the ladder and try to hoist the motor assembly, because there's a large plate that it mounts to up there. So use a friend if you decide to purchase one of these. But I liked the wall mount option because when I actually disconnect the drum down here, I could just pull the drum out, the stays up there. I'm sure the stand would have worked just fine, but this is just what I preferred. I wanted most of it up off the wall with the exception of the drum. So this system does have a grounding strap that runs from the motor assembly up top, and it bridges the gap between, I'm not sure what type of plastics these are, these molded sections right here. So the impeller assembly, this part of the intake assembly, the top of the cyclone, and then the bottom here. So bridging from the metal components up top to the filter assembly and all the way down through the filter assembly is grounded, so that should negate any static buildup on those sections right there. Some of the other pictures, you'll see the control box right here. We've got our start stop. I've just mounted it right here. I don't know if these are the permanent locations right now, but this is just what worked out for me in the meantime. This light up here is the actual, I forget what they call it. I think it's a dust sentry system, but what it is there's a actual sensor, infrared, I believe, sensor back here that detects the height in the drum as far as how full it is. So when it trips that right there, this light starts, and it's fairly bright, starts blinking saying, hey, the drum's almost, or it's pretty much full. The system did come with a remote control for the system, and see, I accidentally hit it right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up again right here so you can hear what it sounds like in operation without any ducting attached. Let it spin down a little bit. So as you can hear right there, it's not incredibly loud. It is slightly louder than my old 1.5 horsepower piece of junk Harbor Freight dust collector, but it doesn't have any ducting on it, so I'm sure some of that's gonna get muffled as it kind of restricts the airflow and everything gets sealed up. But as far as the frequency of it, it's not high pitched, so I don't find it to be annoying, but like I said, we'll see once everything's hooked up. Those are the big things right there. I'm not sure there's not a whole lot more I can say about it right now because I still got to get the ducting installed, and I'm praying it comes within the next week, but we all know with everything going on in the world right now, a lot of things are falling behind, shipments, stuff like that. So I'm not terribly worried about that. There's other more important things out there that need to be done. So if they need to kind of slow down on getting my plumbing here for the, or ducting for the dust collector, then I'm gonna live. But once that does get here, I'm gonna make another video of the process of installing all the ducting, piping everything out, and then as far as performance of the system to each tool. But until then, I'll catch you later.